fire. Very useful, but also very dangerous. Not anymore. Well, it's still very dangerous, but not when it comes to lighting because of a solution at Liteline. You know what? I'll tell you all about it. So this is the Liteline Luna. This should look familiar to you, but what might not be familiar is what's inside of this housing. This is the Liteline Luna Fire. In a fire-rated building envelope, recessed lighting can be a challenge because you're basically poking a hole in a fireproof box. Some companies have come out with lights like this one. So in order to make a light like this meet your fire code, you're gonna need to use a fire-rated sealant like this one. And we're gonna apply a bead of this around the exterior of this light. So in most cases, now that I've applied a fire-rated sealant around the perimeter, once I smush that into the 2 sheets of 5/8 drywall, that will meet fire code. So not only is that a little bit messy, but there's one glaring problem with this system. Most electrical inspections will require the electrical connections to be accessible. And once we make this fire-rated with fire-rated sealant, well, the connections are no longer accessible. So you got a problem on your hands.
We'll just cut it out. Like cut the sealant and then you can pull it out.
You could then cut the fire-rated sealant out so that you have access to the connections, but you can see the problem here. We're going back and forth because now you're gonna fail your fire inspection. This is not a permanent solution. So if you're in a situation where you want recessed lighting that actually looks nice and you need it to be fire-rated, this is your best option. So this is the Luna Fire from Liteline. And what's special about this is that even when this is installed and sealed and fire-rated properly, you will always have access to the electrical components and all the connections. So let me show you what that means. So as you can see, I have access to all the connections and the electrical components. I can even completely remove the components and change the light if I want to, but I don't. We don't need to. Another great thing is that the housing is adjustable, which is great for different ceiling thicknesses, or if you're going to be applying tile or something like that. Always conform to your local fire code. That may require you adding fire-rated sealant to any openings and around the outside of the housing itself. Now that all the penetrations are sealed up with a fire-rated sealant, it's time for the trim to go on, and what you'll notice is that even after the trim is in place, I can remove it. I have access to all the connections, and I always will. Make my connections here. And now I'm gonna put the trim inside the housing. So now that I've got my beautiful recessed lighting in my fire-rated envelope, and I still have access to all my connections because of the Liteline Luna Fire. Genius. Passing inspections left, right, and center. So thanks to the Liteline Fire, we don't have to be afraid of fire anymore. No, you should, it's still very dangerous. It will no longer affect your ability to have beautiful recessed lighting. Thanks to Liteline.